A new character might show up in the amazing digital circus, and from what it looks like, their name could be Cosmo, which is clearly a nod to Cosmo. Lately, we've seen a bunch of interesting leaks that hint someone might follow in Cosmo's footsteps, possibly Regatha. Of course, Cosmo isn't canon, and is actually part of a brilliant fan-made animation, but since we know Glitch is a pretty creative and playful studio, it's totally possible that we might see this character as some kind of Easter egg, maybe in the form of a portrait on a wall, or a casually thrown line from one of the characters that doesn't really mean anything story-wise. Still, that doesn't change the fact that we really could see a brand new character introduced into the circus soon, and today, we're finally going to figure out who it might be. About a week after episode 5 dropped, Glitch released another video showing off new merch and Animaniz toys, and among them was Kaufmo, who honestly shouldn't even be there. Even if it was just for marketing, it still felt super weird, especially when you realize he also popped up again in another recent Glitch video. That's just way too many Kaufmo mentions at once. Naturally, a bunch of fans started throwing out theories that we might finally see Kaufmo return, and honestly, it makes sense. Originally, Kaufmo was supposed to be one of the main cast members in the digital circus, but something changed before the final version of the show was locked in, and they ended up removing him without giving us basically any info. All we really know is that he always tried to cheer everyone up and probably had a decent bond with Jax. What really added fuel to the fire was Kane himself straight up confirming Kaufmo's existence as canon right before the clown sorta appeared. And yeah, if you tie all this together with the fact that episode 6 is supposed to be the true start of chaos, then Kaufmo showing up again seems more than possible, and I'm not even just talking flashbacks, but we'll get to that in a second. As I said earlier, Kaufmo most likely got along really well with Jax, but it still wasn't the same level of friendship Jax had with Ribbit. And what really gets me curious is what gender Ribbit actually is. Drop your opinion in the comments, just please don't say frog. For convenience, I'll be using he as the pronoun. As we learned in episode 5, Ribbit was genuinely close to Jax, and from the looks of it, he's now hanging out with Kaufmo somewhere in the cellar. But here's the thing, we still can't be 100% sure Ribbit actually turned abstracted because we never saw it happen with our own eyes. And that weird mannequin? Still bugging me because it's clearly not just some random NPC. It has that vibe of being a former digital circus resident, and for some reason I'm convinced it's Ribbit. Plus, Goose gave us a super detailed concept of the character, and like I've already said here, it'd be weird to flesh out a character that's just a name drop and a drawing on the board if they weren't planning something bigger. And the third potential new character might actually be our old buddy Dobby, who abstracted a long time ago, but he's still the top pick for fans when it comes to bringing back an older character. We all remember the events of episode 4 that took place at the fast food joint Spudsy's. The founder of that chain is Albert Spudsy, who, as you might have guessed, isn't just some random dude, but actually the secret behind the mysterious A. And if you paid close attention to that one wacky watch leak, you might have noticed Dobby hinted at in some form, maybe just as an Easter egg or subtle reference. And don't forget, the number 57 is one of the ongoing mysteries in the digital circus, and probably has deeper meaning. So the fact that the Dobby dog is priced at $57.57? Yeah, not a coincidence. But being real for a sec, out of the 3 potential characters we've talked about, Dobby's definitely the least likely to make a comeback in episode 6, so let's not waste time digging deeper into that one. Now here's where it gets really interesting, because if we remember that deleted post on X where Goose replied, "I can't say it, because it would cause problems," and the comments on it, it's pretty clear they were talking about someone turning into an abstracted monster. And now our whole view of episode 6 changes, since after that, the return of Kaufmo or Ribbit feels way more real. I even saw some fans use that shot as proof someone's gonna abstract and get replaced by someone new, but that's just false, and an exaggeration. Because if you look at the merch video, it's obviously just Pomni in disguise, and this secret Animaniz will probably reveal the mystery of that seaweed adventure. But even without that, there's way too many hints that someone really might abstract, and we'll definitely talk about it. But first, let's think why they keep showing Kaufmo and Ribbit so much. I think it's no secret that episode 6 was originally planned as Jax's episode, but then the creators kinda switched things up and split episodes 5 and 6 between Jax and Regatha. Still, I'm pretty sure episode 6 will mainly focus on Jax's screen time, and if we remember the so-called first introduction to Kaufmo...
I've been looking for this. Thanks for keeping an eye on it, Coffee. I'm gonna head out. See ya.
It becomes clear that Jax had a pretty good relationship with him since he trusted him with his stuff, and that funeral scene from episode 2 also proves it. As for Jax and Ribbit's relationship, I don't think there's even a point in explaining since we've already talked about it, and just Jax's reaction to the mere mention of his friend says a lot. So we have Jax, who will be the focus of episode 6, and lots of hints about Kaufmo and Ribbit, both of whom Jax was close to. Against this background, I can confidently assume that these two will definitely appear in episode 6 as memories from Jax's past, and we'll likely see several scenes with these characters. But what if it's not that simple, and one of them, or maybe even both, will appear as living characters in the new episode? I'll tell you straight, that's more than possible. As I said before, we don't really know for sure what happened to Ribbit or what's going on with him now, while with Cosmo, things seem more logical and clear. But we've seen several times that Kane can alter characters' minds or heal them from gradually turning into abstracted monsters, so he's capable of bringing someone back from the cellar. The catch is, if that happens, we'll lose 2 characters from the current Digital Circus cast at once. And here's the interesting part. I already mentioned that mannequin who is quite likely Ribbit right now, while Kaufmo's return would turn someone familiar from the circus crew into an abstracted monster. So let's discuss who that might be, and wrap up this video with a final conclusion. We can immediately cross Jax off this list since he's basically the main face of everything happening, and everything in episode 6 will revolve around him. We can also safely say Pomni is in the safe zone. Not only is she the main hero of the amazing Digital Circus, but with each episode, we see her reacting more and more calmly to what's going on, which means her mental health is steadily improving. Zooble is so resilient that even a global chaos or anything else won't make them lose their mind. Things are more complicated with Kinger and Gangle. We can definitely say Kinger has already lost his mind.
Come down here for a sec. We all got briefs on our characters. I'm your assistant. I'd personally go with blue. Blue's my favorite color, it being closest to black and all.
Wouldn't black be your favorite color then?
Well, no, there's no black wire.
But that doesn't stop him from living. While Gangle's situation is more interesting. On one hand, her friendship with Zooble makes her stronger and more stable.
I still like talking to you. Look, the new mask was a bust. So what? I'm sure we'll find something that works eventually.
But she's still in a state where if something terrible happens, Zooble will always be able to pull her out. And here's who's actually on the verge of becoming an abstracted monster. Regatha, who not only started lashing out at the people she cares about.
Okay, let's, calm down a bit.
What? You're the one who said it's fine to be a jerk sometimes! I'm sorry, Pomni. That wasn't very cool of me.
It's fine.
But also ended up completely alone with no one giving a damn about her. Most likely, this combined with the fact that she's living every day in pain from childhood psychological trauma is exactly what's going to push her over the edge and lead to her becoming abstracted and being replaced by Cosmo. Because as we remember, that mannequin is actually Ribbit, and in that case, we'd be getting 2 new characters while only losing 1. As always, I'm waiting for your thoughts in the comments, but honestly, if we do see someone new, I feel like it's going to happen closer to the end of the episode. And as intriguing as that sounds, I still think it's kinda unlikely. Most likely, Kaufmo and Ribbit will only show up as part of Jax's memories in episode 6. But hey, y'all remember this is just a theory. Anything can happen. And with that, the video's coming to an end. See ya real soon.